Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to be looking at the June Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I have a variety of different card ideas to share with you. I have 9 different alternate designs. So I actually cut apart this kit like I always do, and I was able to create a total of 20 cards just by cutting apart the supplies in the kit. So I'm going to just give you a couple of tips and show you some different card ideas, some different ways that you can use this particular kit. So let's take a look at some of these alternate ideas. These are the cards that I'm going to walk you through today. This particular kit actually coordinates with the Citrus Blooms dies. So I'll be using some of these dies today. I created some additional card ideas just using the dies and some of the supplies in the set. So these are the cards that we'll create today. I'm going to show you what the kit cards look like. So let me grab those. So these are the cards that you could create with this month's kit. So we have this little congratulations card and the hello card. I did change, let me just lighten this a little bit here. I did change the design a little bit for the hello card. It was actually in the kit, you could create it in portrait style, and you added like 5 different peaches to the card. So I just turned it in landscape style so that I could save some of those die cut peaches to create some other cards. So these are the kit cards. So I always like to put together just one of each of the cards just so that you can see what they look like. So this first card that I want to share with you features the cherries that were in the kit. Now, I actually, for the kit cards, I didn't use all the cherries. They had 2 sets that were kind of adhered to the card that was in the kit. So I just adhered one and saved some for additional card making. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I did a little bit of embossing on a piece of white cardstock. So I used the Distress Tile 3D embossing folder just to emboss the front of the card. And then one of the cool things about the kits is that they come with, um, let's see if I can find one here. They come with card bases that have the same pattern printed on both sides. So basically what I did is I just cut up all the card bases in the kit to create little pieces like this that I could use for additional card making. So when you cut up the card bases in the kit, obviously you have to use your own supplies to create an additional card base. So this first one I just cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inches. So this is one of the card bases, and I'm just using it as designer paper. And then since the cherries are done in Poppy Parade, I cut a 3 1/2 inch long piece of Poppy Parade, just a scrap piece. And I'm just going to adhere that to the side of this piece of card base, I guess, just so that I can add a little bit more Poppy Parade into this card, just kind of a little accent piece here on the side. And then we'll just adhere this whole thing down the card front. So good morning, good morning. Let's add this. So the blue and the kind of red or poppy color go really nice together. So the other element that I added is just a circle shape. And I use these Stylish Shapes dies to create this circle shape. It's about a 2 1/2 inch circle shape. And so I'm just going to adhere it on the side of the card here and then add all my little elements from the kit. Let's pop that maybe over a little bit. And then the rest of these elements came from the kit. So there were some die cut words that were all in glitter. So I have the little miss you words. and then the little cherries. So I like to just kind of lay this out the way I'm going to add it to the card and then go ahead and add it. So did you guys get this kit? Just leave a comment as I'm going along. I'll try to keep track of the comments. So let's add these. And I just used little tiny dimensionals. I actually cut up these dimensionals into very small, thin pieces so that I could pop this up on the card. There we go. So we'll add this. So this was a fun kit. It was a little bit challenging though. I'm used to the card bases being full of just really pretty pattern paper or the envelopes being, having a very pretty design. So it was a little bit challenging to come up with some alternate, ideas. All right, and then there is a little tiny, I gotta grab a glue dot. There's a little tiny dot for the eye. So we'll add that. And if you didn't find the little dot for the eye, which was on that little glitter sheet that came in the kit, you can always use the embellishments. You can always use these that came in the kit to create your little dot too. So, all right, so that is what we have so far. And then I just stamped a greeting on one of the die cut shapes that was in the kit. You can use scrap white paper as well if you used all the die cut shapes. So we will just add this. So my card is just going to say, "Miss you, sweet friend." So let's trim this down a little bit. And then we'll add that. So it's just a fun way to use the little die cut shapes and the supplies that come in the kit. We'll add this. And we'll just add that right there. And then I just have a couple little embellishments left, so we'll use those up. There were actually enough embellishments in here to create all 20 of the cards that I created. We'll add that. And that is what the card looks like. Isn't that cute? All right, so that's our first alternate design. And then these next two alternate designs, they just feature some of the little peaches that were left over because I didn't use all of them to create the kit cards. So I have a lot of leftover little peach shapes that I use to create some additional cards. So for this one, I just started with white cardstock and then I embossed a centerpiece. So the centerpiece is 1 3/4 inches wide and it's 5 1/4 inches long. And then I cut some of the card bases. So the other color card base was this peach color. So these pieces are just 1 by 5 1/4 inches and they just go on each side. So it's just a little panel card, kind of a simple panel card design. So I will put this together. Now, if you didn't get the kit, you certainly could use these layouts with any supplies that you have on hand. So just because I'm using paper pumpkin doesn't mean you can't use these measurements and the card, background that I'm creating to create cards with whatever supplies you have on hand. So put this in the middle and then this piece. So the nice thing about this particular design is, it works with any pattern paper and stuff that you have. And it's very simple. It's just a quick and simple panel card design. So I'm going to add some of this linen thread that came in the kit. So we'll add this first before we add all the elements. So we'll just wrap this around twice. And then I always tie my bows upside down. I think I've told you guys that. They just lay better when you do that. So I'm adding this first because actually the focal point is going to lay over the top of this linen thread. So that's why I'm adding this first. All right, we'll trim those off. All right, so now we can add, I'm going to move these up. So now we can add the rest of our elements. So what I did actually is this particular element here, I used one of the envelopes. So in the kit came with these scalloped envelopes in the peach and the pink and in the green. So I used all the green ones because I used the die from the Citrus Blooms die set. I used this center die here to create this little element from the envelope. It was, although the color is Shy Shamrock, this envelope was just a little bit lighter than the Shy Shamrock actual color. So I just decided to die cut it from the envelope. So that's what I did with this. So we're just going to add this little die cut shape right in the center. So you don't have to use the envelope. You could use, Shy Shamrock cardstock or whatever color cardstock you have on hand. And we're just going to add this kind of right here. And then we'll add our little peaches. I have some extra die cut shapes from the kit. So we'll add those. And we'll tuck this one under there. And then the Thanks and Beyond dies. So that die set works with all three kits, the April, May, and June kit. So I just used the Thanks and Beyond die set to just cut this thanks from a piece of glitter paper that I had. So I will add some dimensionals to this. And basically what I did is I just cut up little strips of dimensionals. So let's just cut some of these. And I added them to the back of this. Well, maybe I did. There we go. So we'll add them. So part of this is going to just kind of hang over onto the peaches a little bit. So let's see. We'll put this one right here. And then we'll cut a couple more. Let's put this one here. All right. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on this side because this side is going to be on the peaches. I think this will too. So we'll add that. And then I have the same little greeting, sweet friend. So we'll just add that underneath it. And that is our next card. So that's what the alternate design looks like. And then I actually used some leftover pieces on the inside. So this is just a one, actually it's 3/4, I believe. Hang on one second. Yeah, 3/4 inches wide and it's 5.5 inches long. So I had a couple um, little leftover pieces that I just kind of used to decorate the inside of the card. And then we can add our little elements here to the top, our little embellishments. And that's really it. So this is one of my favorite cards. I really like this design. I like the peach and this green together. All right, so that is what it looks like. So save those peaches, don't use them all. All right, so let's move this one. And then the last alternate design that I'll walk you through is this one. So for this one, I used those dies again to create the frame for this card. And then I just used the pieces from the kit just to decorate it. So got some stuff on there. So I just embossed this with the Distress Tile embossing folder. And then I die cut this piece. So I'm just going to add some glue all around. You can also use a sponge too if you don't want to add the glue like I'm adding it. And just sponge some glue on here. Oh, you guys noticed my ring. Well, I usually don't wear my ring when I'm shooting the videos. So it's not new. I've had it. Okay, so there we go. This was my anniversary ring for 25 years of marriage. So, all right. So that's what the frame looks like. And then you just add your little embellishments. So I just added the little peaches again. So I have a couple extra peaches because, like I said, I did not use them all to create the cards, for the kit. Let's add these little dimensionals. So we'll tuck this off to the side. Excuse me. So we'll add the peach over here, and then we'll just tuck another one in here, and then we'll just add our thanks. So it was a really fun kit. I have to say, when I first sat down to create with this kit, I struggled a little bit, like, oh, what am I gonna do? So then I usually, if that happens, where I sit down and kind of struggle a little bit with what I'm going to um, create, I'll just set it aside, do something else, and then I'll come back to it later. And that's kind of what I did. I actually had one of my friends came over, Mona. She came over and we were crafting together, and I sat down and played with this kit again. And then that's when, I don't know, I guess having a friend in the room helped me create. So that's how I came up with the ideas. So thanks, Mona. Thanks for coming on over. All right, so let's add some glue to this. So I only put dimensionals on the part of this that is not going to hang over onto the little peaches. So we'll add this Let's go up a little bit, right about there. So this, again, this thanks came from the Thanks and Beyond dies, which I think I have right here. I can show you. These are the dies, the Thanks and Beyond dies that I used. So that's where I got the thanks. And I think they're still available in the online store too. All right, and let's add a couple dimensionals to the rest of the greeting. And then we can add the last couple elements. All right, so we'll add this down underneath there. Oops. And then there were some little vellum elements in here. So I just kind of tucked that like on the side. Let's see if I left myself enough room. I might not have. Oh yeah, that'll work. So we'll add a little bit of glue on here. And we'll just kind of tuck it under. So we'll tuck that in there. And then we'll add, look at that, the last embellishments. I only have 3 left, just enough to do this card. So we'll add it here, and we'll add another one over here, and one up here. All right, that's awesome. All right, so I've used all the elements in the kit then to create all 20 of the alternate card designs. So I'm going to show you some other alternate card designs. Let me bring these back. These are the 2 I created, 2 of them. Here's the third one. So those are the first 3 alternate designs. And then this one is very similar to this one. So it's very similar. It's got the same kind of focal point. I just used the different greeting and then created just a different look with a 3/4 inch wide piece of embossed cardstock. And then this is a 2-inch piece of, one of the card bases. So like I said, I really like that green and peach together. And since we're looking at the green and peach, I also created some angled cards. So basically when I cut the card base in half, um, this pattern, this peach pattern was on both sides of the card base. So when I cut it in half, it left me a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece, 2 of them, of this peach colored paper. So then I just took that peach colored paper and just cut it on an angle. And I used the 2 pieces to create these 2 cards. So there's no real particular measurement. I just kind of put it in my paper trimmer and just cut it, made an angle cut. That's it. So I didn't measure in a certain amount or anything like that. And then I just kind of created the same type of focal point, on the front. So let's see if I can make this a little bit brighter here so you guys can see that. There we go. So really cute little cards. And then I have a couple more cherry cards. So let's see if I can keep all these green ones together here. I'll get these all up on the blog for you as well. I'll get those up later today. But here's another alternate design. So this is actually one of the card bases from the kit. I did not cut this one apart because it was just plain on the back. So this just has a pink border, and then I created the little focal point for this card. I'll just tuck it under there. And then here is another alternate card idea. So in the kit, we had these pieces, these pink pieces. So I just turned it on an angle instead of using it like the kit suggested. I just turned it the opposite direction and made a portrait style card, and then used some of that blue in the background, that blue card base in the background. So I was able to actually make 2 of these. So let's tuck that one under there. And then these are the other card ideas. Whoops. Let's grab this. For the little lemons, this is what I did for the lemon. So I just used some of that blue in the background. This is a 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece in the background there. And then this element came from the kit. Actually, all the rest of the elements came from the kit except for this. So I just added that. I thought that one looked really nice, really cute. And then let's see, what are the other ones I had? I think I showed you this one already. I just changed the look of the kit card. So, so those are the alternate designs that I have for you. Try to squeeze them in there so so you guys can see them all. But I did have a lot of fun with the kit. Like I said, sometimes I start out and I have a little bit of crafter's block, I guess. But then when I once I come back to it later, then I'm able to just kind of play around with the different elements in the kit and create some fun alternate designs. So, all right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed just a look at this one's paper pumpkin kit and some alternate ways that you can use the kit. You certainly can use the kit as it's intended. You do not have to use any of these alternate designs. I just like to create some of the kit cards, and then I like to just get creative with the rest of the supplies that are in the kit. So that's really what I did. Like I said, I'll get these up on the blog for you later today so that you have the measurements and some pictures to use as a guide. If you did not get in on this month's paper pumpkin kit, I do have some extras. You can find them. There's a link in the description with this video, so you can just go out to the link. You can look at actually some of the other past paper pumpkin kits that I have, along with this paper pumpkin kit. Um, and I think that's all I wanted to tell you. The next kit, let's see, the deadline for subscribing to the August kit, no, August, July, the July kit is July 10th. So I do have some information out on the website. I provided a link for you guys to go take a peek at that. Um, it looks like a really cute kit. It's got, I think it has painted, is it called painted petals, I think? So it's a flowery kit. So of course it's right up my alley. So go take a look at that. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a great week. And I will see you guys all again next week. So take care, everyone.